Okay, my time limit uh, hit, so ran out of time. The video stopped. So we just drew a 27.5 millimeter line straight up. Okay, and I escaped out of the line tool. Now let's draw our next construction line from the origin, from the center point. 27.5 millimeters should be the distance. 5, enter. Okay, and now the last one, line tool open again, straight down, 27.5 millimeters, and enter. All right, I'm going to drag these dimension lines. Notice these lines have arrows at the end of them. Informational. They are dimension lines, okay? I'm going to drag them out of the way. What did I grab? Oh, grabbed the wrong one. All right, so I've got 4 points from the lines I created, and those are going to be the center points of my 4 circles, okay, that make up my buttons. All right, let's turn construction off. And let's go to our center diameter circle tool, create, circle, center diameter circle, keyboard shortcut of C, shortcut up here. And let's draw our 4 buttons. They're 20 millimeters in diameter. So let's type in, let me start that again. So there's my tool, open, click on the center point, click, drag out your mouse. You don't have to click and drag, it's just drag it out. You click to set center point. Let's type in 20 in the dimension box, hit enter. Now later in class, we'll learn a tool that instead of drawing these lines, we could use a circular pattern to project these around. But I'm not going to put you through that quite yet. You'll find it to be an easier tool later as you know more about the software. Let's open the circle tool again, click, drag it out 20, enter. We're going to repeat this step for each 20, enter. End point, 20, enter. All right, I've got my 4 buttons. Now, if we look at the design, you'll notice that the area around the buttons is slightly lowered. Okay, so we need to sketch that shape out as well. So from our center points, we are going to draw 2 circles, 80 millimeters in diameter, which will be used to lower the surface in that particular area. So let's go to our center diameter circle, go to the center point on the left, click, start out, and let's make it 80 millimeters and hit enter. So now I have an 80 millimeter circle surrounding my directional button. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Click on the center of the right side, 80 millimeters. All right, looks good. Enter. Sketch is done, I'm pretty sure. Yep. All right, let's finish sketch. See the button up here? There's also finish sketch down here. Click finish sketch. And let's go to the home position. And now we are going to create our buttons. All right, the first thing we're going to do is lower our outer circles here around the buttons. To lower it, we will use the extrude tool and we will cut away some material. Notice my terminology there, cut away. So create, extrude, shortcut up here, keyboard shortcut E. Click. Now, notice the last time we did extrude, it selected the profile for us because we only had one on the screen. Now I got a bunch. So it doesn't attempt to think for us. So my selection, profile selection is what's active at the moment. And I'm going to select this outer portion of the circle. Don't select the buttons, okay? Because that's not what we want to do here. I want this outer portion right here selected. Click. Notice how what turns blue. If you selected the wrong area, just undo or escape and start over. And I'm going to select this area as well. All right, I've got my dimension box and I'm going to make it -1 because we're going down. Notice how my operation changed from new body or join to cut. Okay, cut because I'm taking material away. Notice I said that term was important earlier. So I'm going to cut out some material 1 millimeter down, so -1. When you've got everything looking like mine here, click OK. And notice it recessed these edges. Now we're going to add a chamfer of 0.5 to these edges we just created on the circle. Okay? It'll soften those edges a little bit, taper them. The fillet we added, rounded off the edges. This is just going to taper that off. So let's go modify in our design menu here, modify, chamfer. All right. The first thing I'm going to do in the active is select what edges, faces, or features you want to apply this effect to. So there's the edge of my circle. Notice how it highlights. Click. There's the first one. I need the other side as well. Click. It tells me here I have 2 edges selected. The edges are highlighted blue. We're going to add a chamfer of 0.5 millimeters and click OK. So now we've just worked that edge off a little bit. All right. Go back to the home position. Now we've got this area cut out. We've got the edge dealt with. Now we need to create our buttons. So those buttons are going to be extruded 2 millimeters. And when we extrude these buttons, we want to apply new bodies. Okay, we want each button to become a new body. And we're doing that so that we can apply different appearances to each button. Okay, that'll make more sense to you in a little bit. Right now, we have a single body in our design. We'll have more than that in a few minutes. Notice how I expanded the bodies with the arrow here in my browser, and it shows me the single body. When I hover over it, notice how the entire body highlights. Okay, I can select that body from the browser. All right, let's do our extrude. Keyboard shortcut E opens the extrude dialog. Oh, it selected something for me because I had the body selected. So it thought I wanted the body. I don't want that. So all I have to do to deselect is hit the X. Now I have nothing selected. Think I might have done that intentionally? Yeah, probably. Okay, so let's select the profiles we want to extrude, our buttons. I want the directional button here selected. Click. And I want all 4 of my game buttons. I believe those are buttons 1 through 4. selected. My operation is new body. Okay, that's good. And I want my distance to be 2 millimeters. So in my dimensional box, which is highlighted blue for me, I'm typing 2. And there it extrudes those buttons up 2 millimeters for me. Click OK. All right, I have buttons. Now, I'm going to have to undo it. Didn't add new bodies. Let me do that again. All right, extrude, close my selection. 1, 2, 3. New body is the function. 2 millimeters. Oh, look what it did. It changed on me and I wasn't paying attention. It changed my operation from new body to join. I need to change it back to new bodies. Okay. Now click OK. Oh, look at here. I got a whole bunch of bodies there. Let me check my time real quick. Okay. Now, a good practice is to change your bodies and name them. Change so that you know what they are. So body 1, when I click on it, notice how the whole thing turns blue. Click again. I'm going to name this controller because that is the whole. Type in controller, hit enter. All right, click over here, deselect that. Body 2. All right, I'm going to name my buttons starting at the top one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So notice if I hover over this, body over here highlights as well. So if I hover over this one, body 5, I'm going to click on that to select it. Now I'm going to body 5, click again, and I'm just going to name this 1, enter. We know body 2 is button 2 because I'm going around clockwise. 2, enter. There we go. Body 6 is the bottom one. That is what I want to be 3. Click, 3, enter. Body 3 is what we're going to name 4. Yours could be different, okay? The directional button, click again. I'm going to name direction. Okay, so I've got my bodies for each button, and I've got them named so I know what they are. Okay. All right. Now, the last piece we're going to do is we're going to soften the edges of those buttons. And we're going to add a 1.5 millimeter fillet to the edges of the buttons. But we're going to start a new video before we do that. So I'll be back in a few minutes.